I had probably the question that's on everybody's mind, which is this a good thing to do? And I was starting to explore it, and I thought, the first person I need to call is Brian De Palma, who I'm friends with and I have tremendous respect for. And I thought, let's find out what he thinks. And I said, they've come to me to reimagine this. How do you feel about it, and how do you feel about me doing it? And he was incredibly supportive, which I really, really appreciated. And he said, you should do it. And so with that, I then went and dove into the source material. I read the novel back-to-back 3 times. And I had read it as a kid when I was in a book club. I'd read it again as a literature student at University of Chicago. But to reread it at this point in my career, I just fell madly in love with his writing. He's such a spectacular writer. It's both classically structured, it's pulp fiction at its best. And I fell in love with Carrie White. You've got this girl who wants nothing more than to be normal and to grow up and to go out there in the world. And you have a mother who is deeply terrified of the world, who has turned to religion to protect herself, who has actually created her own religion, and who tends to be very repressive and very punitive towards her daughter. And so they end up in this love affair from the beginning that ends up also this like crazy feud. So I added a scene in the beginning of the movie so that you were deeply inside that relationship, and then it would build to an amazing climax. The kids at the school, they give Carrie a hard time, and I'm glad they do, because that's real. That's happening in our schools today, and I love that she suffers for it, and she goes and embraces her power, and she tries to find a talent, something other than that, the pain and the humiliation she feels at school, and I love that she ventures out to the prom, but necessarily one girl is going to want to get rid of the guilt, one girl's going to want to hurt her more. To me, it's amazing drama. Stephen King has just given us a gift with this, and I just think it's wildly entertaining. It's a superhero origin story. With the period comes the power. This is a girl who has extraordinary powers, and I felt compelled to make sure that we were inside her exploration of those. That sometimes she had control and sometimes she didn't, so that when she went to the prom, we didn't know what was going to happen. And the other thing that was very important to me is that this is a story of right and wrong. This is a story of justice and a story of revenge. So here's the girl who's going to get that great night, that Cinderella moment with the beautiful dress and the handsome boy and the great dance. But then there's somebody out there who wants to take it away from her. Chris takes it away, and of course Carrie has a response, but it's a just response. She goes after the people who did this to her, and what's been amazing to me is to see that people really feel compelled by and connected to that sense of revenge. I just think it's so much fun. Hopefully it's so engaging. I hope they go along for the ride. I hope they love Carrie. I hope they love that mother-daughter relationship. But I hope they have a great time watching Chris escalate her attacks against Carrie. And it's amazing to me that we both want Carrie to succeed at prom, but we want it to be taken away. And I hope they love when she finally gets her justice. And that's something that I got very excited about when audiences would say, I loved prom and I love when she got those people back. Because I think that, at its core, we love justice.